Question number 61. Anterior pelvic tilt is produced by option A, hip extensors and abdominals, option B, hip flexors and lumbar extensors, option C, hip adductors and trunk slide flexors, and option D, none of the above. So to get the answer, we first need to understand what pelvifemoral rhythm is. So the pelvifemoral motion or pelvifemoral rhythm is when the femur, pelvis and spine move in a coordinated manner to produce a larger range of motion than is available to one segment alone. And the hip joint is participating in what will predominantly be an open chain motion termed pelvifemoral motion. So like any other motion, it has also open chain and closed chain motion. So first we will discuss about the open chain motion. So in this figure, you can see the person is trying to touch his toes by bending over, and when he is doing that, his hip automatically goes into flexion by doing the anterior pelvic tilt, and with that the lumbar part also flexes along with the thoracic flexion. Now here you can see the head is basically moving, and don't confuse with that the lower extremity is fixed. No, the open chain and closed chain does not depend on the lower extremity position. It basically depends on the head or neck position. Now in the second figure, you can see the closed chain motion, which is when the patient stands erect with his neck intact. So there is no movement in the head neck position. But here there is also anterior pelvic tilt. In order to do that, the patient basically extends his lumbar segment to increase this angle, or basically doing the anterior pelvic tilt. So here you can see in closed chain pelvifemoral rhythm, when the patient stands erect to produce anterior pelvic tilt, basically his lumbar spine is extended and his hip is in flex position. So to see the pelvis, hip and lumbar relationship, we can see a chart, right? Here you can see to produce the anterior pelvic tilt, there will be accompanying hip flexion and compensatory lumbar spine extension. Other than that, if question comes from posterior pelvic tilt or lateral pelvic tilt or forward rotation, backward rotation, you can see the accompanying hip joint and the compensatory lumbar spine motion. So please take a screenshot of this chart because it will help you in solving other MCQs with other pelvic tilts. So to answer the question, anterior pelvic tilt is produced by option C, that is hip flexors and lumbar extensors. To know more about this, you can check the Cynthia Norkin's Biomechanics book, 5th edition, page number 372.